This is lesson 17-1, perimeter. Our essential question, how can you find the distance around a polygon? And the picture there shows a perfect example of that. They have sides A, B, C, and D, and you just add all of them up. We have one vocab word, perimeter, which is the distance around a polygon. Example 1, find the perimeter. So this one is relatively easy. It's a square, and we know squares have all congruent sides, so they're all the same. But I wrote a formula that we can use if it's not so easy. So 2 times the length and 2 times the width. That's what the L and W stand for, length and width. Or in this case, we can add 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Or we know an even easier way, since they're all the same, let's just multiply it by 4. And we get 20 inches is the perimeter. So the perimeter is just adding up all the sides and figuring out the sum. Example 2, what is the perimeter of a rectangle with a length of 12 centimeters and a width of 8 centimeters? And let's go ahead and use this formula to figure that out. So we have 2 times the length, and they told us that the length is 12, plus 2 times the width, and they told us the width is 8. And now we can just solve. 2 times 12 is 24, and 2 times 8 is 16. And we add those together. Remember, you have to follow the order of operations. You have to multiply before you can add. And so our answer is going to be 40 centimeters. Don't forget to include the measure. So here's centimeters right here. So that's our perimeter, 40 centimeters. Example 3. So it gets a little trickier here because we have to find some of the sides before we can add them all up. So let's take what we know. We have 6, 4, 13, and 9. We know we're going to add those. And let's figure out the x and the y. Okay, so let's do the x first. The x goes the entire length of this shape. So we know that this side over here is 13 inches. So that goes, I'm going to make like an imaginary line. You can think about that. That goes up until that point. But then we also have to add in the 4 inches that goes along this side. So we can add this part and make it the whole length of the side. So we have 13 plus 4, we know, is 17. Now we just need to figure out one more missing side, and that's the y. So we're just trying to figure out this little piece right here. We know the whole length of the side is 9. And we know this part up here is just 6. So in this case, since it doesn't go all the way across, we're going to have to subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. So that little side would be 3. And I know that makes sense because if you go back and check, you would add this part, which is 6, plus this part, which is 3. That would be the whole length across, which gives us 9. And now we just add all of our numbers up, 6, 4, 13, 9, 17, and 3. And we get 52 inches as the perimeter. And I knew it was inches because I could see the unit of measure here. And example 4, we have a triangle. Now, when we do area of a triangle is a little bit different, but since we're just doing perimeter, we just add up all 3 of these sides. 6 plus 8 plus 10, which gives us 24 feet. And here's where I got feet from. So that is our perimeter. All right, you have 3 practice problems. Remember, some of them you might have to find the sides or use 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Don't forget a word problem or a question, and rate your understanding.